Real talk, the Metaphor Messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies. Legend in the game, I think I found a solution. Got a crazy kind of flow, I need a verbal institution.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dead on Dave coming at you live from Germany. And that was Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah's Morning Light, which, by the way, breaking news, will be free on SoundCloud starting Tuesday. That's right. Morning Light, the official Dead on Dave live theme song right now, will be live for free on SoundCloud starting Tuesday. Make sure you check that out. And as always, thanks to Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah. What's going on, everybody? How are you guys doing? How is this Friday night treating you guys? You having a good old time? I'm having a good old time. You know why? Because I'm feeling oh so good. I'm feeling extra assassin-y. Ooh, yeah, extra assassin-y. Look, we got a lot of stuff we're going to get into tonight. We're going to take all of your questions, your comments, your concerns, your hopes, your dreams, your quips, your quotes, your loves, everything that you possibly have. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff tonight in YouTube, wrestling, sports, life, video games, whatever you got. That's what we're going to do tonight. But I do want to open with something because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I can't deal with it anymore. Total non-stop Deletion aired last night. And if you could believe it, it was actually the worst of all of the final Deletion saga, whatever you want to call it. And this is like the third or fourth since July. They've done far too many of them. Here's the thing. Okay, I'm going to try and be fair about when I'm talking about TNA and total nonstop deletion and all this stuff. I'm going to try and be fair because I understand that some people are going to like this. Some people, this is what they're looking for. They want to see the craziest things ever in wrestling. They like backyard wrestling, which is essentially what this is. I mean, we saw weed whackers last night. We saw babies getting victories over grown men. Yeah, with the help of a taser and all of that. But we saw insane. We saw one of the oldest tag teams in the world, the Rock and Roll Express. It was just an unmitigated disaster. It really, really was. And maybe some people are not going to be very, happy that I'm saying that, but I don't care. Because here's the thing. The craziness that's been going on with Total Nonstop Deletion and the Hardys and the Broken Hardy, it's not even all that original. It's very similar to what's been going down over at Lucha Underground for a while. It's also mixed in with some the Wyatt family and a whole bunch of other things. And look, God bless Matt Hardy for doing something different and creative, and some people are going to seek it out, and that's completely fine. But here's the reality. For me, to be interested in something on television, in most cases, there has to be a certain amount of production value. This was one of the worst produced, one of the worst edited, and they had weeks to edit this thing, and there was still unbelievable amounts of mistakes in this thing. It hard to the acting. Look, here's the thing. If you are going to bridge the gap between wrestling and a television show like Lucha Underground does, and this is where their failing is as well, wrestlers aren't actors. They're not supposed to be. There's reasons why they are wrestlers and not actual mainstream actors. Only so many of them go over and actually successfully find success in the acting world. It's because they're not good at it. Most of them are not good at it, and we saw that last night. We saw weed whackers last night. We saw babies getting victories. We saw a guy get his neck broken. Yes, we saw another death in the context of a wrestling television show. I just can't do it. I have such a hard time with it. And I understand that the smarks and the people who just straight out hate WWE, they're going to love this because they love the Voodoo Kin Mafia as well back when they did their thing. This is starting to become a just glorified shoot on WWE. The ending with the burial, the man with 3 H's, the 3-H'd man would be impressed with the burial of these young talents. What is the point of that? It's not entertaining. It's not fun. It's just to give a fuck you to WWE. That seems TNA, when they were at their best, they seem to not bring up WWE hardly at all. They don't need to. WWE doesn't really see them as competition, so why should they see them as competition? I don't understand it. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. It just, I don't know. There is talent enough in TNA where they don't have to do this stuff. They can just go on and do what they do and let it be enough. But none of the wrestling was very good last night. There wasn't anything that absolutely blew me away, and I watched as much as I could. Hornswoggle showing up. We got the hurricane that was teased all goddamn night. Shane Helms eventually did turn into the hurricane because he entered the water of reincarnation, the lake of reincarnation. It's too ridiculous to me. It's just too ridiculous to me. Maybe I'm a snobby wrestling fan, but guess what? The numbers don't lie, kids. At the end of the day, numbers do not lie. And back in July, when Final Deletion took place, they got a really good bump in numbers. They went over 400,000. That was great. They haven't done it again since. They haven't reached out with another Final Deletion since. And in fact, this is down 25% from that number. Yes, 325,000 people watched last night's show. It is what it is. People are not giving a shit. And here's the thing. If you're going to rip off something that's already kind of happening on television with the format like they're doing, because this has been done, the type of goofy overproduction, television style-ish, it's being done down in Lucha. And if you're going to take that, why take it from something that nobody's watching? Nobody's watching Lucha. Why take something that's failing? It just doesn't make sense to me. If you're going to go something that's against the grain, at least go and do something that people are showing legitimate interest in, not a small minority of the waning hardcore population, the people that want to see WWE challenge so badly that they don't care what is happening, what they're actually seeing in front of them. If it's not reaching B-movie quality, there's something wrong there, in my opinion. And that's the demographic. And it's about 325,000 people. You alienated 75,000 people that were there before. That means people don't want to see this that regularly. They certainly don't want to see 2 hours of it. Look, you go into any comment section, even the pro TNA type stuff, and it's 60-40, sometimes even 70-30 in disfavor of what we saw last night. And that's not good. It might be time just to finish with this stuff. I think Matt has had the writing on the wall for a while now that he kind of wants to go back to WWE anyway, maybe make one more run at making some good money. Wyatt's Hardy's kind of needs to happen. That's what everybody seems to be thinking. Night-night, babe. Wife's going to sleep. Everybody say goodnight to the copious wife. Maybe that's what they're going to do. I have no idea. Love you too. And we'll see what they decide to do down the line. But I just think TNA should not be putting any more money into this production. It doesn't make sense. The juice is not worth the squeeze at this point, kids. They're at the point now where they upped the production value, but I thought this was the worst looking of all of the deletions. Bringing in the crowd like that. Look, I hate it. Why shit on independent wrestling? Because that's what that was. They bring in 13 people to simulate the independent scene. That was just... Come on. What's the point of it? It's not that entertaining. Yeah, I cracked a giggle every now and then, but not in the way that you want to be cracking a giggle. You know, it's not good. But anyway, it is what it is. That's really all I want to say about Total Nonstop Deletion. I don't want to get into it too much. The Apocalypto match was an absolute unmitigated disaster, shooting fireworks at each other, fighting on motorcycles and trucks. It doesn't work. It doesn't look good. It doesn't translate well. You don't connect to it. It is what it is at the end of the day. Pittsburgh Boy asks, question is, will WWE take him back in a heartbeat? He'll sell. If WWE produces delete shirts or obsolete in the back, delete, yes. They will fucking sell shit. But the Hardys are one of the most popular tag teams in the history of not just WWE, but wrestling. The Hardys are unbelievably popular. And even this iteration of the Hardys, which I do not think would last long before they did eventually kind of go back to their status quo type situation, it would make money. Plain and simple. So let's get into some calls, man. That's what I want to do. I want to take your guys' calls. I want to know what you guys thought of not only Final Deletion, but I want to know what's going on in your worlds, man. I want to know what's happening in your hemispheres, your stratospheres, your tropospheres, everything that you got. I want to know, man. It's important to me because I love you. You love me. We are a happy family, all right? So call in now on Skype, David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA. And, of course, the number is 702-751-2902. PVS Sweetie Pie says WWE takes everyone back. Eventually, yes. There is no never going home again. Hogan came back. Ultimate Warrior came back. Macho Man would have came back had he not died. I do believe that would have happened eventually. Everybody comes back. It is what it is. Great PSX. Dave, who's your favorite NBA player of all time? Mine's are Vince Carter and Kobe. Michael Jordan from Chicago. I'm playing basketball. Real talk. I'm sorry, but the storyline is better than anything in WWE. Stories are sometimes you got to take a risk. You didn't watch it, Real. I know you didn't watch it last night because now you're just saying stuff just to say it. I love you to death, but come on. What storyline? There is no storyline. There's nothing there. Let's take a call before I lose my goddamn mind. 228, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Hey, man, big fan. I just wanted to call and talk about the YouTube algorithm thing.
Okay, sure. What you got?
So I heard from a couple sources that it's going to be primarily focused on the comment section and how long you watch the video.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to make that comment. It's going to be like primarily focused on streamers. I mean, streamers are going to get the most money, you know.
Well, I stream, so that's wonderful for me. Look, you're hearing a lot of things out there. I mean, some bigger YouTubes are claiming one thing, others are claiming another. This is what I feel. I feel, yes, there was an algorithm change, but I do, especially after watching that shit fuck of a YouTube interview thing. Oh, that 3 minutes of just unmitigated lies. I'm more convinced now than ever before. It's a glitch. It's a glitch, 100% glitch. No question in my mind. It is a glitch, and it's YouTube changing the algorithm is a way of trying to combat the glitch. That's what I believe. There's just too much that doesn't make sense. Why not at this point, if you have people that are coming out in droves talking about the unsubscription glitch that's been happening, the audacity to go on any YouTube show, any type of format, and say, well, we polled 100 people and we've yet to find any semblance of, come on, man, 100 people in YouTube? That makes no sense to me. It's ridiculous. What else you got? You got anything else for me?
Yeah, Keemstar is the greatest YouTuber of all time.
Fair enough. All right. Have yourself a good night. Take it easy, buddy.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. I liked it. It didn't yell it. It's just like, Keemstar is the greatest YouTuber of all time. Fair enough. Fair enough. Good stuff. Pip Scotland. Dave, what the fuck is that moving behind you? No! What is it? What is it? I'm being attacked by a banana monster! No, there's nothing moving. What the fuck? My wife came in and saw me act like an asshole. Hi.
Hi.
Somebody tried to act like there was a monster behind me, so I decided to go stupid with a banana monster. You're going to call somebody?
Yeah.
On the phone?
Somebody to pick you up and put
You were going to try to get me committed. I didn't know what the hell you were talking about. That was weird. 204, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Hey, Dave. How are you?
I am fan-friggin-tastic. How are you?
Freezing my ass off.
Where are you at? Where are you outside? Are you an Eskimo? Are you in Alaska? Where are you at?
I'm in Canada. This is your Snow Queen.
Oh, this is Terry. You sound so different.
Wake up.
Do I have my volume down? I can barely hear you. Holy shit.
What's the matter? You can't hear me?
Now I can hear you a little better. Okay, what you got for me there, Terry?
No, I did watch that shit, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Now, Terry,
You're
I
having
know
a-
you give benefit of the doubt to TNA quite often sometimes, and especially because some of the people that you like are absolutely in love with TNA, who I will not name names, of course, Andrew Corville. But what was your actual reaction to last night's? I got to placate to me. What did you really think about it?
It was terrible. It was downright terrible. Like, I mean, like, really? A baby beating Rockstar Spud? And then it's just like, and I'm like, I was kind of tripping. I'm thinking, holy shit, I gotta fucking take less medication or something. Is that the Rock and Roll Express?
Not only was the Rock and Roll Express there, but Disco Inferno was there.
I know, and I'm and then ODB, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, what the hell is happening? I'm waiting for our, like, Gail Kim or something. And I'm like, where in the fuck are we? I'm like, no, we're at Matt Hardy's house.
This is when Jeremy Borash and Matt Hardy just decide, hey, we get all the power. We're gonna do whatever we want. And we just go crazy. And I don't know. Josh Matthews. I'll tell you this. Josh Matthews looks like the stupidest person in the world right now. Because last week, Josh Matthews was actually touting out, he was tweeting to the world that total nonstop deletion would be greater than any WrestleMania in history. Josh Matthews has officially lost all credibility.
He lost his fucking mind.
I agree.
I think he smokes more weed than anybody.
Not more than Real Talk, though. Real Talk Metaphor Messiah smokes more weed than I think anybody. Like Snoop Dogg level.
Weed with something extra mixed in it.
That's right. What else you got for me, Terry?
It was just fucking crazy.
It was bad.
Not much. I just wanted to agree with you on that. Like, I normally do like TNA, but no.
You're at least more receptive to it. You're more fair to it. Maybe I don't even know if I'd say fair, because I think I'm fair. Like, if I see something that's decent in TNA, I shout it out. But that just wasn't. It wasn't edited well. It wasn't produced well. The cameras looked like they were substandard. I mean, nothing looked good. Nothing looked good. And that's unfortunate. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I watch wrestling like kind of like the sport of it, type thing, like the wrestling part of it, and I kind of block out everything. But yesterday I couldn't block out freaking shit. It was just like, it wasn't like entertaining.
Yeah.
It was like, what the hell was it? It was just like, okay, people fighting, and then it was on to the next thing, and it was just like all over. It was just scattered. I'm
with you. Like, I could not, like, wrestling, the love of wrestling and being able to watch the way we do it. Tommy NC, don't worry, I will be getting you in a second, buddy. The watching wrestling and being engrossed in it is all about suspending not belief, but disbelief. And you can't suspend disbelief when you're watching a man get his neck snapped in a television show. It's just like, that shit's not real, and it's too much. And I don't know if I necessarily feel that wrestling was in a better place when kayfabe was protected and the business was protected. But I'll tell you this, making open-handed remarks about kayfabe and burials and all kinds of stuff like that, I don't feel is good for the business. I don't think it is. Making snappy remarks to make the smarks of the world go shudder with glee because they called out Triple H for burying young talent as they did it themselves is even more ridiculous to me, and I don't think it's good for the industry. I just don't. I appreciate the call, though, Terry. I'm going to take Tommy NC 2010 here.
Have a great evening. Hi, guys in the chat. Love you guys.
Oh, Terry. Oh, she blew a kiss to everybody. Terry, you have yourself a good night, though.
Okay. Bye.
Joining me now is my good buddy. He is from North Kakalaki. He's the beacon of positivity. It's Tommy NC 2010. What's going on, pal?
Oh, yeah. Tommy NC 2010. Little gold dust there.
Yeah, very, very nice. Very nice.
Arnold Ultra Warrior.
Yeah, all right. What? All right. No more bad. No more. That's Legion of Doom. No more bad wrestling impressions. What do you got for me, Tommy? Before I beat you to death with my face ball here.
Well, dude, be nice. I was just calling to talk to you, and I was just want to say I heard a rumor. I don't know if you could solve this rumor or not. That WWE was had a contract down to buy TNA. Now, is this true?
No. They made an offer, and apparently they were very close, and depending on who you listen to, are still very close to possibly, potentially buying the tape library for TNA. Matt Hardy has been making a lot of remarks about deleting TNA. It's led a lot of people to the belief that Anthem Sports, who now owns TNA, is going to be kind of moving away from the TNA legacy and kind of creating something new. Very similar to what Billy Corgan wanted to do if he would have retained control of TNA, which he did not. If that's the case, there's still a very good possibility that WWE buys the tape library. It has value to WWE. It essentially has no value to anybody else, including TNA, because I don't think that roster, that management, and everything that is about TNA's future lies with TNA. I think it's about moving on from what was to what will be, and I think WWE would still pay a decent amount for the TNA tape library, since some of their bigger stars that are coming up in the company right now have TNA roots. So it makes a lot of sense.
Well, I have to say, I think the one reason, if they're going to buy the tape library, I don't understand why they would not buy the whole cake.
It has no value.
But, Matt Hardy...
It has no value, man. Because most of the time when you buy an entire... It was like WCW. They bought WCW, but they didn't buy the contracts because of the money that was tied up within the contracts. Most of the time, it's three different things when you're buying an organization. Typically, you're buying the organization and all of its assets that it might have, and contracts that are tied directly to the company. Bigger stars typically have protected contracts like Goldberg and Sting had, and WCW and many others. DDP was another one. He actually ended up giving up a lot, about $450K to join WWE early. So some of the bigger guys that are within TNA now, I would guess that their contracts are not tied to the future, especially if it was signed anytime in the last year or two. I would guess that they wouldn't come with anything anyway. So to answer your question, there's simply no value. There's no value in TNA as a brand, but there is value in the tape library that WWE could add to the WWE network to help promote guys like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, Eric Young, and so many others. Being able to show the greatest matches of Kurt Angle from TNA, for example, that's going to have value when Kurt does inevitably either come back or go to the Hall of Fame. But TNA as a brand has no value. It just doesn't. People might want to argue and say, yes, honestly, it does, but it doesn't.
TNA is kind of like the sunken vessel of let me think
WCW.
Here. WCW. Yeah. And, it's like I hit to put this in bad perspective, it's like the abused child of WCW.
Well, it's the remnants, that's what TNA was kind of, why I liked TNA when it first started, is because it felt like WCW. I mean, like a lot of the guys that were there, it felt like, but unfortunately over time, it started feeling like 2000 WCW, which is a big issue.
Jeez. Yeah. Honestly, I have to say, since I've become a wrestling fan a while back ago, I've gotten the gist of professional wrestling, and I've kind of investigated into the background of just everything that, as they say, as you're talking about with Triple H burying, new talent. And honestly, I tell you what they need to do with WWE is they need to clean out, retire every single old wrestler that we know about. No. John Cena just needs to retire. Randy Orton needs to retire. And we just need to... Why? Why not?
Because there's nobody in the business right now that's ready, that has shown that they are ready to take that spot. There's nobody. I mean, you got guys that are approaching that status, but they're not there. They're just not. There's no Stone Cold Steve Austins in the industry right now. There's no Rocks in the industry. And I would dare say there's probably not another John Cena in the industry right now. If there was, when these guys...
I have to disagree with you. There's two people that could be a Stone Cold Steve Austin, are a John Cena. You know who those two people are? You're going to disagree with me. Okay, Roman Reigns.
No.
And Dean Ambrose. Those are the two people I think are ready for prime time.
Okay, with Roman Reigns, I'll take each one individually. Roman Reigns has already proven that while they have tried to make him in the vein of John Cena, he's never going to be accepted in the way that John Cena was. And that might sound ridiculous to some people, but the reality is John Cena was accepted for a very long time. And even with the Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks, Reigns gets it, but not in the same way. The only thing that might make that true is the fact that his merchandise sales are still so consistent. Dean Ambrose, on the other hand, is basically showing that he has a glass ceiling. Dean's only going to go so far. I do believe there are a couple of guys. Look, we talk about John Cena, but the biggest draw in wrestling is actually Brock Lesnar, and he doesn't have a lot of time left either. And I know how much you hate Brock, but I do feel that there is a guy in wrestling right now, and he's down in NXT, and you guys know who I'm going to say. I do feel that there's one guy that is going to kind of pick up everything in a way that people weren't thinking could happen anymore.
Zack Ryder.
His name is Shinsuke Nakamura. Zack Ryder. I want to bitch Zack you right now. You know that? I just want to bitch Zack the shit out of you.
Zack Ryder is a good wrestler. How can you say that? Zack
He's
Ryder
a good wrestler.
Is ambitious.
He's a good wrestler.
Hardworking wrestler that he just eats shit all the time because McMahon pushes him back and pays him more money to lose. Wrestlers that lose get paid more money than the wrestlers that win.
No,
so it's kind of bullshit. And when you eat dog shit all day,
that's not true.
Sorry, I mean it's just
Tommy. No. The wrestlers that lose do not make more money than the wrestlers that win. The people who make the most money are the ones that sell the most, draw the most people to the arenas and sell the most merch. Neither of those is Zack Ryder. People aren't buying tickets to see Zack Ryder. I like Zack Ryder. And unfortunately, Zack Ryder's going to be out for an extended period of time because he blew his knee out the other night. And that's unfortunate. But as much as I like Zack, I don't see putting the company on his shoulders and that working. And that's the problem. Who is there? AJ Styles? Potentially. Kevin Owens? Potentially. But both of those guys have been champion for a good amount of time now on their respective brands. And it's not exactly setting the world on fire. I think AJ a little bit more than Kevin, but Kevin's really had to rely on Chris Jericho, which I don't think a lot of people were expecting to have to be the case. But at the same time, to be fair, no one was expecting Kevin Owens to be champion at this moment anyway, but because of the Finn Balor injury, it's what happened. So, pretty crazy.
One of the most ridiculous things, I think, in professional wrestling standards is like when you walk into the WWE and you've been working so hard, you've been taking your bumps, you've been doing everything you can to make yourself a successful image, and then Vince McMahon says, well, guess what? That doesn't exist. You have to work your way up. And I think it's kind of, and it's no offense, folks, it's kind of bullshit. I think if AJ Styles has had so many matches in TNA, he should still have that carry along. They shouldn't build another storyline onto him. I think that wrestlers build their career in other businesses.
No, Tommy, that's not how this works. Because just because it works in TNA doesn't mean it's going to work in WWE. And look, the character that AJ Styles perfected that we're seeing now, he actually perfected in New Japan. And he basically came over as the same guy that he became in New Japan and kind of towards the end of his TNA run, but mostly New Japan. That's where we saw AJ become the AJ that we are seeing now week in, week out on WWE television. I do not believe that just because you have garnered a following on the independent circuit. Look at Sammy Callahan. Sammy friggin' Callahan, who ended up coming in as what's his name in NXT? I can't remember his name anymore because I can't remember his name at this point. But he had a miserable run in NXT because he can't do the same things as far as connecting with the audience like he did on the independent circuit. It's not the same thing, and you shouldn't just get that guaranteed walk-in to be able to do what you want to do. Look at a guy like Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode right now in NXT is the most over than he has ever been in his career. Ever. He has never been as over as he is right now, and nobody saw it coming. Nobody saw this type of success out of Bobby Roode when he came to NXT. It didn't. Nobody thought it. But one great goddamn theme song, and now nobody can get enough of Bobby Roode. Thank you, Guncannon. Solomon Crow. That's right. Solomon Crow had a miserable run in NXT. It was embarrassing. Now he's back on the indies and he's making people happy. Just because you're able to do it in a small scale doesn't mean that you can do it on the WWE stage. It's a different world. It's a different sport. It's not even it's a higher level. It's a different ball game. There's things that you have to do on that level that you didn't have to do in the independent circuit. It's just a reality of it, man.
Yeah, I understand that. But hey, Dave, I have to jump off here. I have to run off, but I want to say that you're doing a very good job, Dave. And your show, every show you do, even though I don't get a chance to watch some of your shows, you're doing a good job with your audience. I want to say your audience. I love your audience to death, and I want to say this to everybody. I appreciate everybody in the wrestling community support when everything went down my channel. The support, the love, the appreciation. And I just want to say that, Dave, you're a good guy. I never regret going on the Joe Cronin show and meeting you. I think since that day forward, but I have to jump off here, man.
You've been my buddy for 2 years, and I appreciate it. You're a good friend, and I love you to death, Tommy. You have yourself a good night, pal.
Keeping you on the inside fact.
Of course you are. See you later, buddy. Yeah, all right, we got it. Dave, I'd like to call in. Yeah, go ahead. You can call in. Okay, you can call in. Somebody wrote me and said, hey, I'd like to call in after Tommy is done calling in. Is that okay? That's wonderful. I love that. Go ahead. Look at that. He's scheduled. I like that. I can't do that with everybody, but that's fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. I hope you guys are having a fantastic night in there, hanging out in chat. See, the chat is lit. Everybody's talking all kinds of good stuff. We're not just talking wrestling, of course. We're talking a little bit of everything, anything that you might have. Go ahead and call in. And let's go ahead and take another one. Matt, I'm going to fucking butcher this. Matt Goshevik. You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Hey, how's it going, Dave?
I am fantastic. Looking at your Kylo Ren mask is making me very happy. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Thanks. Thanks for answering the call, man.
No problem. What you got for me?
So, kind of going on Tommy NC's little talk about wrestling. I kind of have the past, actually 2 years of wrestling. For some reason, I feel like the WWE isn't making as entertaining of a product as they could. And one of the reasons I feel that it's because that nobody really understands the characters' purposes of, like, the wrestler characters. Mm-hmm. Like, what is their purpose? What is their goals? Like, look at a guy like, Bray Wyatt, who I love. You look at him as some kind of, he's an evil cult leader. He could be this real badass monster. Sure. However, through booking and all these, I guess, a couple of injuries, he loses a bunch. He doesn't really have much of, that standing that he can win. He's this ferocious monster.
Well, that's starting to change now. Heel. That is starting to change now.
Yeah.
They're finally starting to do something with him. I do think the booking has been better over the last couple of months. I think that is starting to improve. I like the brand split. I know some people are kind of split on the brand split, but I think it's going in the right direction. Most notably since Survivor Series, I feel I'm seeing a lot of changes that I think needed to be made. I'm not saying it's going to fix everything, but I think we are on the right path. But I think you have a very good point. It's all about connection. And if you can't connect to a wrestler's character, whether because of TNA problems where things are so ridiculous that you can't possibly suspend your disbelief, or with WWE problems where you feel like it's just a commercialized kind of a crazy bullshit. It's just plastering. It's of commercialization. It doesn't really, nothing else matters. You can't connect. And the WWE are only going to care so much because while we're complaining, we're getting upset and all of that, the reality is merchandise numbers are fantastic. They are doing great in the stock market. They're regularly around $20 a share. They're making more money now than they did in the Attitude Era, which is insane to think about, but it's true. Sure. So it really is. It's a matter of what we want compared to what's working for WWE. And when a lot of the things that people are saying they want is failing in independent promotions, Why should the WWE listen to that? Because they're not going to lose money. They don't want to lose money.
Yeah. No, and I kind of also the one of the problems I feel like they don't have like another John Cena. They don't have another Daniel Bryan, like someone who's that megastar that can carry the company, and the people that they feel like they want to aren't what the fans want.
Yep.
I know Roman Reigns is like, I kind of feel like he's a boring potato, but obviously his merch is selling with children, and he's very appealing to like mothers and women.
Yeah, they really would like to have sex with him. That's very true.
That's true. But it's I feel like for a majority of the hardcore audience, what they want, and as you said, like they're making more money not listening to a lot of the hardcore audience right now. So
because we're so small. It's such a small demographic. The big demographic is the casuals. It's the kids. It's the parents that are taking the kids to the shows, that are buying the kids this merch. It's not us sitting in basements going, "Oh, John Cena, you son of a bitch." That's not what's making them money. We're complaining. We're bitching. You know who's not complaining? That 9-year-old kid. He doesn't give a fuck. You know why? He's too busy enjoying himself. It's like, that's the thing. We're miserable. The 9-year-old with a Roman Reigns shirt on is in fucking heaven. It's like, what are we doing? It kind of feels a little ridiculous. But I love wrestling, and I'm always going to continue to speak out for what I think is best for the industry. And look, people can complain about the WWE all they want, but the reality is, for everything that they do, I'm talking 205 Live, NXT, all of it, and this new UK-based production as well, everything that they're doing, there simply isn't another promotion on the planet in scope, breadth, or just complete variety that gives you everything that the WWE is able to give. Now, unfortunately, there is a lot of that doesn't connect. I get that. But it's not happening with the things like NXT and all of those things. But you know the funny thing? NXT is still operating at a loss. People aren't watching NXT on the network anymore. So the best wrestling product in wrestling right now, the best actual in-ring production is happening in NXT. Nobody's watching it. What does that tell you? It's like, it's very difficult. It's hard to figure out where the actual money is going to be going from this point on.
But
you got anything else for me, Mr. Matt?
No, man. Thanks. Thank you for your service, and thank you for answering the call, man.
Hey, no problem. Did I butcher your name too much, or no? Did I get it close?
No, it's fine. It's okay. I've had worse where a teacher called me Go Chavez.
There you go.
Like, yeah. But thanks again, man.
No problem, man. Have yourself a good night, buddy. Good call. Good call. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the one, the only Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, because I don't know if you know this, but his latest video, Notice Me, over 250,000 views on YouTube. Hound has some things to say about that. Longtime viewer and friend of the channel, the Hound. He's got something to say. Let's check it out.
Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah. I guess you could say the summer is over, because Real Talk is starting a musical revolution. With his latest hit Notice Me hitting over 250,000 views, all we can say is that this dude is absolutely unstoppable, shooting one verse after another. I guess we talk in legendary status. You might say he's the second coming of Shakespeare. Just excuse his confidence, but one verse will never be enough for this guy. Follow Real Talk on SoundCloud.com/RealTalk74.
Yeah, there we go. Real thank you, Hound, for your fantastic job there. And make sure you're checking out everything that Real Talk is doing over. Just Google Real Talk, Metaphor Messiah. His links are in my description box. He also has a link that's in the description box for SoundCloud, where he'll be giving a song away. That's right. The official theme song right now, Dead on Day Productions, Morning Light, will be for free on SoundCloud starting Tuesday. Make sure that you're ready to get your listen on, all right? There you go. We are still taking your calls live on Skype. David Vancura, DavidVancura. And, of course, the number, 702-751-2902. I want to hear from you guys, what you guys are talking about, what you're thinking about, what is motivating you, what's getting you all juiced up, what's making those nipples perky. That's what I want to know. And I want to know how many of you guys watched Nerd and the Jerk last night. I want to talk about that for a second. If you have not watched Nerd and the Jerk, if you haven't done it, you really should start with last night's episode, because I feel that was my and Jake Leak and our new addition, Aeon's best work to date. It was such a great show. It was fun. It was entertaining. I like my own voice. I can't help that. And it was very, very offensive. We said some messed up shit last night, but we had a lot of fun doing it. And it was an absolute blast. And I really hope you guys check it out and you do, you get on board with it and you like it and you push it and you tell people about it, because we're trying to grow that thing, because I love Nerd and the Jerk and I think it's got a lot of potential. I think that's going to be the show, man. I mean, I love what Jake does. I love the new addition in Aeon. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. So, all right, we are taking your calls live on Skype and the number 702-751-2902. We'll also take your questions in the chat. If you have some questions, go ahead and hit me up with it. If we're done and there are no more callers, well, there's no point to continue on going on a live viewer question, is there? So we'll get up out of here if that's the case. So it's pretty good stuff. We're also approaching 4,200 subscribers. I think that there's an outside chance of us getting to 5,000 by the end of the year. It's unlikely, but I do think there's a possibility of doing it. And that would be great. Great way to end this year strong on a high note by hitting 5K. How cool would that be? My mouse is being an absolute asshole. Let's take another caller. The one, the only, the man who makes the graphics here, the overlays. The show doesn't go anywhere without Guncannon. He's here, and he's here to tell you what's good in the hood. I don't know why I said that. Guncannon, you're live with That on Dave. What you got? Yeah,
it's funny you should. It's funny you should mention Nerd and the Jerk. You won a couple. You won a couple fans last night. I'll tell you that.
It was pretty crazy last night, man. It was. You know, when you're doing a show, when Jake and I got off the air, the noise that we both made at the same time, this, oh, you know, it just, you know, when you're doing something really good. It's like, you know, when you're fucking and you're just hitting that rhythm and you know that you are just slamming that G-spot and you can feel the woman shudder underneath you and you can just feel her hips just grind into you more, and she's hitting on that little tip of your dick there, like where the cock meets the head and everything, the shaft meets the head, and it's just that little spot that just, and you're like, and you're trying to hold it in, and she's thrusting and moaning, and you know that you're just in the zone, but you don't want to come because you've never hit this zone before, and you never know if you'll hit it again. That's what we did last night. We got G-spot fucking. That's what we did on Nerd and the Jerk. That's what happened. That is the real shit. All right, what do you got for me, Gun? I don't know what the hell's wrong with me.
I don't know either. I'm questionable at most. Actually, I saw something interesting, and you know, it was something you guys were talking about a little bit last night. Was the Pokemon Go? Yeah. So it got beat.
Well,
its download numbers got beat.
Of course. I wonder by what? Huh? Could it be
I don't know.
Pokemon or Mario Run? Could it be Mario Run?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it beat him pretty hard. Apparently, that's what a lot of the news reports have been seeing on the video game end, is that Pokemon or that Mario Run came out and just beat the ever-loving tar out of it.
Well, it's beating it now, but I don't think it's surpassed it for overall downloads. For one, it's only on Apple. It's not even on Android, so it's not going to top that. I think Pokemon Go is over. I think it's approaching 1 billion downloads. I mean, like, it's pretty ridiculous. It's going to take a while for anybody to catch up to that. But I do think, like, hourly and maybe even for the day, they may have surpassed it on the Android or the Apple system on iOS, but I'm not sure. But people are talking about it, and it's pretty damn crazy. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. The other big thing is, I guess, the Nintendo Switch is actually going to go on a preview tour of about 6 towns.
Really?
Yep.
Is Jimmy Fallon going to host it? Jesus.
You'd think with, you know, how much the guy went into an epileptic seizure when they showed it to him.
You know, people really complain about him, and for a long time I gave him the benefit of the doubt. He looked like an asshole. I mean, it was a cool segment. I mean, but it wasn't because of him. He was like a fucking child, and it was a little too ridiculous. I'm sorry. I love you, Jimmy Fallon, but you almost ruined the Switch for me. Because, like, douchey.
Yeah, that's what I got off of it, and it's nice to see that it works, and and you saw the actual graphics engine off it, which means that's fantastic. It's wonderful. We now know it's coming out in March. The 250 still the generalized pricing.
The rumor. If it drops at 250, it's gonna break records, man. Look, we saw it switch. We saw it switch from screen to screen seamlessly. We watched it happen, so we know that it's real. If it is that flawless, that seamless, and it looks that good and plays that good, it's gonna shatter records, man. $250 for a system like that. PSPs weren't that cheap. I mean, it's crazy. It's gonna shatter records, man.
I'm so psyched to see that.
I'm buying one. I will eat whatever I gotta eat. If I gotta eat 5 peppers a night, I don't give a shit. I'm buying a Switch. It's happening.
They're gonna make you eat every pepper and then just lick the bag on general principle.
Right. Yeah. Here, Dave, how much for you to snort? Grind one up and snort it. I'm not snorting one. It's not happening. But we are always playing under Carolina Reaper rules. You guys know how it goes.
Yeah. And to add on to the total nonstop deplorable, as I'm calling it.
Nice. Very well done.
I'm sorry, letting a kid get over a seasoned wrestler. You have to have paid Rockstar Spud a lot of money to say, go out there and just lay down for that kid.
Even with the taser angle, it was so stupid. It was so stupid. The best part of it was Disco Inferno going, thank God that wasn't me. It's just to show how stupid. Look, I guess some people are giving TNA a pass on this because, well, they obviously knew what they were doing was stupid. They were making reference to it. Well, that doesn't mean it's good. Just because you're being meta, you fucking douche. My God.
No, a piece of shit's a piece of shit no matter how much you freaking polish it.
Exactly. No matter how much that piece of shit is aware that it's a turd, it's still a fucking turd. And I don't think just because something is different means it's good. It still has to be good, different or not. Bartek Freaka says, show your dick. No. I mean, look, for one, I don't want to break the internet. How often does the biggest dick in the world get shown on camera? Not very often. So I can't do that. It's unfortunate. Besides, my shoulder hurts. I can't possibly lift it. So, but here's what you will do. Here's what we can do. You can go ahead and think about your life choices. How about that? Boom. Yeah, you can. You too, Xanderu. Think about your life choices, asshole. Come on back and hang out when you stop being a child. How about that? Oh, Guncannon hit him too. What else you got for me, Mr. Cannon of Guns?
No, that's about it. Just kind of getting settled back down. So, wanted to just give a quick call in and kind of voice on that, see what you thought on that, and voice my absolute disgust with total nonstop deplorable.
I feel you. It's good stuff. It's the bee's knees. It's the cat's pajamas. No, it's really not. Gun, I know that you got a lot of stuff going on in your personal life right now. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you continue to help me out with the graphics wise. I know that you're working on the prediction and review for roadblock, skid mark, whatever the hell they're calling it, and I appreciate that. Just know that everybody in the chat and myself, everybody, we have nothing but love for you and your wonderful wife, and just keep us all updated on everything that's going on, buddy, okay?
Will do, guys. Will do. Thank you very much.
Take it easy, pal. Have a good night, and I'm going to gently put you over the top rope. Just gently. Take it easy, pal. Guncannon, everybody. Make sure you check him out. If you have graphics needs, go check him out on Iron Knight Graphics. All that information is in the description box. Hey, if you guys want to help support the channel, make sure you at the very least hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you've yet to do so. You could also go ahead and get yourself some Dead on Dave merchandise. Right below the ticker, you'll see www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com. Go get yourselves some merch. It'll still get there by Christmas, I think. Maybe, possibly, probably not. But it could. So make sure you go check it out. We got all kinds of good stuff there. Hats, shirts, not hats, mugs, hoodies. Go check it out. It's good stuff. And of course, you could also just donate to the channel as well, which is also in the description box. Old friend, haven't heard from this guy in a long time. It's Matt Rundle, the Rundle Grundle. You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Hey Dave, how are you?
I'm fantastic. It sounds like you're standing next to a nuclear reactor. That's good.
No, the reason why you haven't heard from me for a while is because I've been pretty ill and I've just recently moved house as well. So that's why you haven't really heard from me.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that, man. I hope that you're feeling better, and I'm glad that you're calling in, man. And congratulations on the move as well.
I'm still finding stuff that I never knew I had.
Isn't that the wonder of moving? It's like, when did I buy 17 used condoms? Why would I want 17 used condoms? I don't know why I bought them, but I did. It's amazing.
Anyway, I just wanted to ask you a few questions in regards to like WWE wrestling type related questions, if that's all right.
Hit me.
I said this to a friend the other night, and he sort of agreed with me. Do you think there's too much WWE program? What now with 205 Live and everything else that's going on? And obviously they've got.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Please finish.
And obviously they've got the UK tour thing coming up.
Look, the reality is it's a yes and no. If the quality of Raw and SmackDown starts to go up and kind of go in the same vein that it is now, no. If it's good wrestling, if it's great wrestling, there's never enough of it. But most of this year has been subpar. NXT has been very good almost all the time. There's very little downtime for NXT, but people are checking out a little bit. 205 Live and a little bit that we've got of it, it's starting to really improve. 205 Live itself is doing pretty well just as a show as far as entertainment quality, even though the Cruiserweight division on Raw is now only starting to turn around. So I think it just comes down to quality. If there's a lot of good quality happening and we're seeing great shit being pumped out by the WWE, no, I don't think that there's a problem with oversaturation. The problem is when we're getting 6 hours of a Survivor Series that doesn't fucking accomplish anything. That's a problem. That's when it's too much. But wrestling in and of itself, no, it's not necessarily too much if it's good, but if it's all bad, then we're realizing how much of it we have and we just want it to go away.
Dave guesses now. Who do you think's winning the Royal Rumble in January?
I still like Finn Balor. I do like Finn Balor. I think that he makes a lot of sense. I also think Bray Wyatt has a good chance as well. It could be somebody that nobody sees coming. Personally, because he's my answer for everything, Shinsuke Nakamura. But he's my personally. I want to see Shinsuke Nakamura take on Brock Lesnar in a non-title role for one of his first matches in WWE. That's what I want to see, but probably ain't gonna get that. But I'm gonna go with Finn for the moment.
I'm kind of guessing we may see some similar sort of angle between Brock and Goldberg, like we did at All 4. I mean, I'm hoping they'll be different, but
you mean two winners type deal?
No, I'm trying to remember when it was. Didn't Brock eliminate Goldberg or Goldberg eliminated Brock? I can't remember which one it was, but I'm sure I saw something like that, and I'm kind of thinking, well, that's the sort of route they're going to go down this year.
I think so too. I think that they're more than likely we're going to see something a little bit crazy. I think a lot of people are expecting them to show up later in the Rumble. It wouldn't surprise me if they go the opposite and have Brock start the Rumble and like just kill people until Goldberg gets into the ring, and then they just kind of eliminate each other. I don't think either one of them is going to win the Rumble. It makes no sense for it to happen. But I do think that they are going to make an absolute spectacle, maybe even destroy the Rumble. Maybe that's a possibility. They cause so much damage and they just bury the entire roster, which honestly, they've kind of already done with that goddamn ridiculous Goldberg squash that they did, which, by the way, more time passes, the more I'm souring on it again. I hated it when I first saw it. Then I kind of was like, well, you know what? It was surprising. It was entertaining. But the more time that passes and we're not getting any payoff with it, the more I'm hating it because they just buried the entire roster. Nobody can compete with Brock Lesnar, but a 50-year-old Goldberg can. It's retarded. It makes no sense. So it wouldn't surprise me if they just like shut the Rumble down.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't actually see Survivor Series live because I was due to move on the Monday, and as we yourself, it's broadcast early hours of the morning for us, and I didn't get my internet put until the Tuesday, and as soon as the guy had done the internet, I sat on the network and skipped to the main event and watched it because my friend texted me about it, and I just stared at the screen and I was like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Right. A lot of people are thinking you're calling from the toilet. Can you confirm that? Because if you're on the toilet, that's fucking wonderful.
No, I'm not, Dave. What it is the fact that there's no carpets down or anything here at the moment. That's what it is. So
I've done shows from the toilet. There's nothing wrong with it at all. So
no, everything echoes. That's the problem at the moment. But
what else you got for me? Got anything else?
Not really, Dave. Just keep doing what you're doing, and I'll keep checking it out when I get the time.
I appreciate it, my friend. You have yourself a really good night.
You too. Take it easy.
Take it easy, Mr. Rundle. Good shit hearing from Rundle, man. I never get to hear from Rundle anymore. It's good stuff. I hope you guys are having a good time so far. We are still taking your calls, your questions, your hopes, your dreams, your loves, everything else. And great stuff. We're taking it on Skype. David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURN. Of course, number 702-751-2902. Let's see here. What's going on in the chat? Is there anything that I need to acknowledge? I don't know. I might be just getting out of here in a second. There's really not much else to talk about. Formal Ghost, Dave, do you think the UK title will be like the European title? No, I don't. I think it's going to kind of be its own entity. Triple H kind of alluded to this, that the goal is to have an actual British-based or England, UK-based show, and I think that that's where we'll see it mainly defended. But who knows? That could change at any given time. You just never know, but we'll see. Let's take another caller. It's Cage. You're live with Dead on Dave. Cage, what you got?
You all right?
I'm much better. I did strain a little bit. I may have busted a nut, like saying your name, but you try saying Cage without saying it with a little bit of oomph. It's hard. It's not easy to do.
I bet a Cage.
Cage? Are you KGB? What do you got for me? This is weird. Go. What do you got?
Here, do you mind if I make the show a bit political and ask you about
how political?
What I'm just sort of asking you the reason why you voted for Donald Trump.
Why I voted for Trump? Real simple. Because I would have voted for a fucking wet nap over goddamn Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was the absolute worst candidate in the history of American politics. I mean that. I cannot think of a worse candidate that has ever run for political office than Hillary Clinton. Yeah. It's just like, and how bad, you might ask? Donald Trump won. That's how bad. That's how bad. Look, I don't know if Donald Trump's going to make a good president, but this is what I do know. Donald Trump makes sense business-wise. And people who think, well, the company or the country is not a business. Bullshit. It absolutely fucking is. It has a fully functioning economy, and it follows a lot of the same rules as business does. He's bringing a lot of great business minds from Linda McMahon, which some people think is a joke, but the reality is over the last 25, 30 years, nobody's done more for small businesses quite the same way that Linda McMahon has done. He's bringing in people that are going to rock the boat and change things the way things are done politically. That could be bad, could be good, but I'll tell you what, on the political side of it, people are starting to come around his own constituency, and even the Democrats, man, they're starting to see a little bit, okay, we're hearing less of the recall shit. We're hearing less of the recount shit. We're hearing it because it doesn't make sense. You got to get behind the guy who won the election, and he won the election.
So would you put yourself as sort of as right wing as Tommy?
No,
say?
I'm more in the middle. I think I'm not. I'm not. Look, I don't think there's anything wrong with being liberal. Nothing. I think there's something wrong with being extreme on any lean. Any type of lean, politically or ideologically, I feel is wrong. You should never be extreme. Balance is the key to everything, my friend, which is funny coming from a fat guy, but fat people know more about balance than anybody else. Just to be able to walk a straight line is hard for a fat motherfucker like me, especially when I'm on a cane because I'm all fucked up. I know about balance, and you got to have it. It's very important.
So would you not classify yourself as a Bernie bro?
No, sir. I'm certainly more right than I am anything else. I wouldn't necessarily call myself ultra conservative, but I'm certainly more right-leaning than I am left.
Would you say you'd be sort of alt-right? Not aligned with the Nazi-esque view
Definitely
of
not aligned with. Yes, I would say
you know,
being married to a German lady and living here in Germany for the past 14 years. Yeah, I'm probably not Nazi leaning. More than likely, I think so. Maybe I've been converted. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Zig Heil? I have no fucking clue. I don't know.
Sure. Is there not an upcoming alt-right party in Germany now?
There is a lot of weird shit that every now and then.
Merkel?
Yeah, well. Now we're getting into it. I have to be very careful because I am in Germany, and there's very strict regulations of what you can say. This is 100% true. I wish I was joking. This is what happens when you live in socialism, kids. But the reality is the internet protection stuff does not apply the same as it does in the States. I have to be very careful about what I say when it comes to Merkel. Because if it gets reported and if I say something that is not allowed, I could actually get in trouble. So I got to be very careful. I can talk about Trump and any of that shit, but I got to be very careful. All I'll say is what all the kids are saying over here in Germany. Danke, Merkel. That's all you can say.
Well, it could be worse. You could be living in Sweden.
Very true. I don't know. How bad is it in Sweden? Is it bad?
Well, I don't live there. I live in the worst political country in Europe, Northern Ireland.
Oh, yes, you do. Okay.
Yeah, I do. Like, there's a £1 billion scandal, and the person who had it won't even step down.
Fun
at
times.
30% of our GDP. It's madhouse here. It's all about religion.
But you know what? Even with all of that, you're calling into some fat fuck show on the internet, so it can't be too bad. You got a microphone, you got a phone, you got internet. I mean, life could be worse.
I suppose it could be. Like.
Could be. You got anything else for me, buddy?
No, man. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, no problem, man. I appreciate it. I like that you changed up the vibe a little bit, and hopefully I didn't sound like too much of an asshole when it came to politics. I appreciate that.
No, you're all right. You're great.
All right, buddy. Take it easy. Have yourself a good
Bye.
night. Good stuff. Cage. Pittsburgh boy. Dave, what is it with you and that knife? This is what I used to kill my father. I don't know. I just like knives, motherfucker. I like this knife. I like that knife. I like this. That's not a knife, but I think I just cut my finger. I like this, which is obviously not a knife, but I like things that can be used to bludgeon people or cut people. I'm very worried that the zombie apocalypse could be kicking through the door at any moment, and if it does, I can shanky my way out of this motherfucker. I also got baseball bats and swords. I'm not even kidding. I got a baseball bat and a sword within 25 feet of me. It's called I'm insane. It's called I'm insane. I don't know. Fucking, you're focusing on the wrong shit. Here, watch Gizmo. Here he's giving you head. And here. Now you can say you saw Gizmo fillet something. There you go. SF the man, why do you have those ears on? Because I'm fucking badass enough to be able to pull it off. That's why, SF. Lurking Aeon, so I just woke up out of a fucking coma like I came home and passed out over 2 hours. What did I miss? Why does Dave have a knife again? The better question is, why don't you have a fucking knife? That's what I want to know. Why don't you have a knife? Why don't everybody have a knife? What if somebody just comes into your house and tries to fucking stab people? You know? It's good stuff. All right. I think that's about it. We've yelled at the Lily. We've gone for over an hour. We've had a good time. We've laughed a little. We've cried a little. We've learned about ourselves a little. It's always hard when we have to say goodbye. Hope you guys had a very, very nice evening with me, your boy, Dead on Dave. And make sure you're checking out everything that's going on within the channel, including the great music of Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, which once again, the theme song of this channel, Morning Light, will be free. Free, kids. I'm like talking zero money, none, no money at all. Will be free on SoundCloud. Real Talk Metaphor Messiah on SoundCloud. The link is in the description box. It'll be free. It'll be free on Tuesday. Go check it out. Crazy. It's amazing. All right. Thank you guys very much for joining me right here on Dead on Dave Productions. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit that like button on the way out. Now, SF, you're getting banned, you stupid fuck. Blocked. No more fucking... You're not thinking about your life choices, SF. You're being the ban hammer. That is how you get your dumbass fucking banned. You spam the N-word in my goddamn chat, especially when I'm getting out of here, I'm going to fucking ban your ass faster than you've ever been banned before. That's why I have a knife, so I can cut stupid motherfuckers like that. Get up out of here, go over the top rope, and fucking think about your life choices, but not here anymore. Thank you very much for joining me right here on Dead on Day Productions. I appreciate you guys being here. Check out everything that's going on within the community, and we'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Keep it copious, folks. And peace.